actual own drawing style, which is pretty rare amongst manga artists and artists in general. Most artists tend towards a generic, artificial. Most humans all their people look exactly the same. That kind of thing. So it's really refreshing to see a guy who can actually draw an original style. And they kept that in the anime completely. Like, again, they completely transferred the essence of the manga to the anime seamlessly, which I was totally, clapping in my head for. Great job. Obviously, the people who did the anime love the manga, I'm pretty sure, because they couldn't have done it if they didn't love it. And anyway, so it's a great one because it's all about it has a lot of great scenes with them doing the death metal thing as DMC, and I'm not into death metal. I like heavy guitar stuff, but again, most of it sucks because the people doing it have no talent or skill. But the bits they do, actually, I love the music from the anime. I haven't really found. I've tracked down some of the soundtracks. But they don't get the exact same version that they use in the anime, which kind of pisses me off because that's the versions I like. But there's enough of it to remind me of it anyway, and it is really good. And I can play it in my head because I've listened to it so many times now. Like, I've seen the anime and played the intro in my head. It's really well delivered. Got lots of punch, lots of chi, lots of energy. And a lot of the humor comes from, of course, the fact that I think his name is Negi or Negi Negishi, something like that. Negishi wants to. It's the lead guy in Detroit Metal City. His Detroit Metal City identity is Krauser II, who, according to the band's legend, was basically a demon who was either crawled out of hell or he was born and possessed by a demon. His first words were "kill me," and he killed and raped his parents after getting out of picture, escaping from jail, and then maybe ate them, or whatever. Like, it's just bullshit, but it's sort of that that's one thing. An interesting thing about art I've realized is, and stuff I like in particular, and stuff a lot of people like, is it's deliberately unbelievable. It's like it goes beyond. So it's deliberately unrealistic. I've sort of realized that. I think it's because it engages your disbelief because you're sort of entertained by it, and then you just forget to disbelieve it. So you don't really believe it in a realistic way, but you know what I mean. It's sort of far enough away from your sense of what is real, so that you just forget about reality and just enjoy it. And it's kind of like that. Like, it's completely over the top. That's the whole point. Over the top. It's way out there in the zone. But it's really, the thing is, I found myself reading the manga. I've read the manga as well, and even the anime has this element where I found myself kind of that's part of the depth of it, is I found myself sympathizing with Negishi because he really does want to be just a light pop musician, and his feelings for that are very real. He wants to have this, it's his happy side basically, and But whenever he does that, people end up, they just don't like it. Like, he's just not. I don't think it's because of lack of skill, because he does have immense guitar skill. He is a good songwriter apparently, and his stuff doesn't seem bad in comparison to the other people are showing. Of course, I think the author is deliberately making his life hell because he's God in that universe. But the impression I get, artistic impression, is that he's just out of sync. It's just people don't. Maybe he might be appreciated someday. But the way it works out is always that people don't end up liking his happy, light, fluffy side, and he'll only take so much abuse or whatever, and then of course it becomes funny because he'll basically rage out and become Krauser, and when he becomes Krauser, it's like his true power is unleashed, and people tend to love him, but it's the wrong people because it's these crazy death metal punks or whatever, and they basically worship him, And he is a good musician, so he gets all hyped up because he's got a live audience and he's appreciating it, and he starts to rock out with the guitar, and he's really good. But it's not what he wants to do. So, which is, again, it's really good art on that level because that's life, right? He likes to do one thing, but he's technically good at this other thing, which he doesn't like, but will make him money and people even like it, So he's always torn between these two things. And since the author of the story is very good, it's frequently completely hilarious because it's classic in that his girlfriend will end up coming to his DMC concert while she's writing for this light pop magazine, and end up writing that Krauser 2 is the worst human to ever walk the earth. So it's just absolutely hysterically funny. And there's lots of great characters, like the president of their company, who's never referred to by name. She's just the president. And she always swears, in English. And she's just, the way she swears is like an art form into itself. She's always going, fuck! And then when Chris and I, we watch it, and we just laugh, because it's just hearing her swear is incredibly funny. She's like, shit! Because it's got that Japanese kind of, it's like a foreign word, but she just puts so much energy into it. It's funny. Anyway. Oh, and again, another 4 minutes here, so just to round it out with saying that what kind of led me to that from Lady Gaga is it's just kind of interesting in that Lady Gaga is, very tenuous connection, but she's kind of like, Nagishi if he was all about being Krauser, right? I mean, she's all about being Lady Gaga. There is no conflict for her. And it's working out really good for her, and that's cool. And she's a good musician too, and she's been able to play the piano for like professional level since she was 4. So again, she's got serious skills. But it just kind of, I guess there's kind of that connection there where I was thinking, poor Krauser, Nagishi, he's all conflicted. It's not working out for him. That's more like me, my life situation. And then there's Lady Gaga, who's known what she's wanted to do forever and has finally achieved it, and it's just like a rocket. And I really admire that. I think that's awesome, and I'm pleased for her. But, 2 different setups there. Yeah, well, that's about it anyway. But Lady Gaga, good stuff. If you just, you just want to hear catchy pop or whatever, not everybody will like it, but I thought it's good stuff. Very hooky. My God, I literally listened to her, second album, like just the first song, and I went to the bathroom, and it was still, I turned off the music, and it was still playing in my head, and I didn't want it to do that. It just was stuck there. Like, she's got that exact, it's probably mathematical on some level, but it just completely sticks in your brain. It's, poker face, she's got these songs that you're probably aware that you heard them on the radio because they're just ubiquitous, but I didn't know they were her. But listening to them at full volume, and not the edited radio version or whatever, they're pretty damn good actually. Again, they have they're not just, I've heard a lot of pop songs, and a lot of them are just this chorus, and there's like literally the song is 3 lines long. Some of them I'm like, my God, is this just 3 lines? This song is just 6 words long. Some of them really aren't that far from that. But with Lady Gaga stuff, there is a strong chorus and everything, but there is more of a, she does a lot of variation. She plays with it with her voice. She's fully present in every song. She's not just phoning it in. So good stuff. And Detroit Metal City, again, give it a shot. Maybe sometime. I don't know. I don't know who's ever going to see this video blog, but check out the anime, check out the manga. Just Google them, and you can find them all on the web there. But if you're willing to, if you're like me and you have broad tastes and you're interested in something over the top and funny, give it a shot. Anime is actually more concentrated, I would say. It's genius. It really gives you the whole essence of the series. But check the manga if you want some more. You want to see the original, because it's good too. Alrighty, so I'm going to go check my beef stew. Maybe have a Coke. Saturday night. Hope everyone's having a good one out there. Bradley out.